Hello and welcome to my Japanese civilization tutorial run-through game. Having spoken to a couple of my friends, they'd obviously thought it'd be a good idea for me to go through the way I play the game, because I don't always play at the same standard production-based focus. Just to go through, we're gonna play with Japan. I would call him an average level civ. The combat unit he has is fairly nice, and then obviously the Major Restoration is really useful if you want to play them the way I'm going to play them. And the Electronics Factory will lead into what I was hoping to do. So one of the things I've done is I tend to focus on specific districts, and we're going to go for a science victory, but we're going to do so without building a single culture district. And the Electronics Factory with a +4 culture will help towards this. We're going to be playing on Prince difficulty. That's because I'm going to be talking, and I don't want to think and talk at the level I would normally be when playing to myself. I kind of have some music on, and I wouldn't be concentrating too much on talking. Ancient era, continents large, everything's standard. All I've done is just turn the turn limit off. I imagine it won't get much beyond the kind of 250-ish, unless I do something really badly, but I just feel more comfortable without having to look at the turn limit in the top corner. What else are we going to do? I'm going to go through and explain essentially that I will use what I call the main currencies of the game. So for me, the first currency of the game is population. This is because population leads to essentially every other type of currency. You need districts to make science, culture, faith, production, beyond tiles that you're able to work. And population does both. So if you have a high population, you can work a large number of tiles, and you can have more districts in each city. In my humble opinion, you want to aim to have a minimum population of 10 in your cities. Obviously that means that a lot of civics and stuff that require you to have 10 population kick in, but it also allows you to have a decent number of districts. If you're playing with Germany, you get an additional district plus an additional is it Hansa, I believe it's called, and I don't think that counts either, so they can get quite easily and have kind of a 7 population cap cities. I will be going for a faith based start, but I will not be going for a religion win. I'm hoping to go for a science win. Now this is because I believe the science win doesn't require culture, but you can use faith both mid and late game for benefits. Early game often it's just used to gain a little bit of era score, and to kind of get your settlers down, maybe an apostle or two. That said, there could be occasions where I use it to buy great people even early on. Like you can rush your great prophet by getting a holy site, using that with the points to make sure that you get the first one. There are a few beliefs I'm going for. I'd quite like choral music, which is one where you gain faith for you gain culture for each shrine and temple. So I believe it's like 6 culture per city, which will, with the Japanese bonus, a monument, some of the other wonders that you can get, will allow you to get a better start towards your culture game. What else? And then obviously the second currency we'll be using is obviously money. We're going to use gold in order to push out. You can push from faith into gold, and then maximise your science and your production through that method. And yeah, we'll kind of take it from here, and let's see how this goes. Here we go. Let's see what we get. Right, we've got some bonus resources. We've got some actual nice faith here. This may work properly. We're on a river. We've got a little bit of jungle that we can chop out. But what we've got a grassland hill. We don't gain anything by selling on these, and it's probably not worth moving off of the fresh water for this. And I can see some coast here, so this may allow us to make use of our coastal territory. So let's go ahead with that. Now, in terms of research, I'm pretty much always going to start with one of these two. In terms of what we need here, we have rice, which we can use straight away, and animal husbandry. But if you just look at the tech tree, animal husbandry is going to lead into archery, which means we can go on the offensive with archers and warriors if we need to. I don't need science too much early on, and obviously hopefully you want to look at what we can get in terms of the inspirations, the boosts. So find a natural wonder. We would do this hopefully while we're researching around. We haven't found a city on a coast, and we haven't killed a warrior with a slinger. So in this case I'm going to go with this one, but I may change it if I find a civ aggressively within kind of 10 to 20 squares while I'm moving around with my original scout. So now that we have this down, I'm almost always going to build a slinger first. I am using the better UI mod. That's the only one I've got on. It's just because late game I like to be able to queue a few things and not to worry too much about the city. Now we know that because we have the jungle, we're probably on the equator, and I would like a city in a science. I'd like to have one up in the tundra, so I'm going to begin with a scout along here. We have a goody hut. Now this looks like it might be a lake, so unfortunately it's not as coast as I would have hoped. Let's have a quick look what we've gone and picked in here. So I'm going to pick this. I take it off there. 7 tans, 5 tans, and 7 production. To be honest, I think that one might be the best one for us right now. Just because otherwise it's going to take an incredibly long time in order to get our first slinger. Now we are playing on Prince, which means we're not likely to get overrun, but if you're playing on Emperor or Immortal or Deity, you want this as quick as possible. Okay, so let's go and get this towards this goody hut. We've got a mountain and a more like this might actually be the coast, which would be nice. Hopefully we'll grow onto this, and then we can select that in kind of our first couple, just so we can get our faith rolling. Part of the nice things about playing as Japan is you don't need to worry too much about district placement, because you are able to line your districts up together in order to get the best use of those. So we can take up some of these here, maybe harvest this, and just be able to make a nice district here thing with a harbour maybe. Right, so let's carry on going. Again, I'm probably going to come up on this hill because it will give me the best version of the surrounding area. Now we can see this is actual coast, which is nice. So the coast is curving around there, okay. And I'm going to do like a small circle with my scout, just to have the biggest look around my total area without going too far away. So one of the big things you can find is if you're playing against a lot of amount of civs, or you're playing on Deity, you want to make sure that there's nothing close by. Okay, we've got 2 turns for our scout. Again, we've got a nice river that we can follow. We've got a little bit of marshland. Right, how much we're making? Just enough, I think. We're probably going to go for a builder or a settler with our gold. Okay. Nice and easy on the early turns. Not too much going on. Obviously now we're going to have a scout, so we'll be able to pop our scout down here just to have a quick look around here. We've got more faith, which is nice. Right, what do we want? You have a choice here. You can either build a second settler, or you can go for a warrior or a builder. Now I personally am never a fan of scouts. I understand if you're going for a culture victory, they make sense because you're able to search around faster. However, let's assume that if you see a civ early, you want to be in combat, so you already have a warrior and a slinger. Having the scout actually isn't beneficial to that combat, and you have the option if you get a builder if you've got some nice stuff here. So we are going for faith, so this is not a massive issue to pick these. So in this particular instance, I'm going to go for a really early settler. Maybe up here, we'll see what's around there. If not, down here. But so far, we don't have an area, but we might as well be putting our production into something useful. So we see a barbarian scout. It's already taken damage, and we've also found another continent up here, which is Siberia and Asia America. Some interesting names we have there. Okay. Wait for the town round. So it looks like it's been taken over by Brussels. If we can keep a track of this, we can go run up here and try and kill it with our slinger. Just to get the Eureka for that tech. That will be a nice idea to try and get. Right, let's turn that over. 10 turns on our settler. Now it looks like... where has it gone and put? It's probably put it over here. Go back in. Put it there and there. Okay. So I'm going to take the second one off of here and put it onto here just to get our, at this point, the few extra turns on your settler, which we were building just to have a second settler, will increase the production of our population, which obviously will drop back down. So we want to try and speed that up as much as possible. Come up here. We found the scout. I'm going to come across here and come round here because we've now found a second one. Right, so let's have a look at these. Brussels, 15% more production towards wonders. It's okay. It's not probably my favourite one. Can now build the colossal head. So this one would make a good second city for us. We will carry on. Now we can't take out these with this too, but if we had another pair of warriors we probably could. So the decision is, okay, so we've got probably a thingy up there. Let's come in there, hit this, bring this back. Let's clear out this barbarian camp, help us towards bronze working. Okay, so we're taking way too much damage because we've not got the easy barbarian choice thing in there. So if we bring that in here, in 3 turns we'll get this one, which obviously pretty much I always put straight in, just to be able to help us with that. Right, now am I concerned about going for this straight away? Probably not right now. I do, however, want to probably put my settler. We've not got a lot of production tiles up there. I kind of would like to scout down here, but obviously this is an issue that we need to look at. Come on, hit me, but not enough to kill yourself.
It is not wisdom, but authority that makes the law.
Okay, so we'll hit him there. And we'll put him into fortification stance. I am going to go into hope for a Gogi because I know I want to take this. Obviously, we'll put in the barbarian one. Now, I'd quite like an early, with the faith that we're generating from our tiles, I would quite like to have an early. Where my brain's gone. Religious pantheon, that's the right word. Okay, it's gone and spawned another unit, but we can take this and then we can get on there for the gold. So we've now boosted military tradition and archery. So we've got this boosted, and military tradition is probably the one that we never take. But ideally we can try and get this now, hopefully. Let's upgrade him to volley, and he can come up on here next turn. No, he should hit him because he's the weaker unit, which will mean next time when we bring this up on here, if we put this into fortify until hurled, he'll come up here and he'll still hit this unit because he's the weaker unit. We have found the other scout down there. Now, obviously, as I say, we're going to go into animal husbandry. We want this for sure, and we want to get the archers to be able to take out this unit here now that we have the Eureka bonus for it. How long do we need? 25 faith to get Pantheon, so we should have a Pantheon in a couple of turns. The scout has hit himself off of our city. Combined with the kill up here, we have managed to get... Oh, he did hit this guy in the end. That's annoying. We have managed to get bronze working, which is good. We'll have another settler out next turn. In a couple of turns, we'll build a holy site after that. Just to start towards our religion as quick as possible. So if we're playing on deity, you don't really get a lot of time in order to get a religion. You will have to almost rush it. What do we get from here? We'll get +1 from here. Now, we've got rice. If we were to put a thingy district in there. This is a hill though. So, kind of what I'm thinking, the way that Japan works, if we add pins, we could have government plaza in there. We could have our holy site. Oh wait, I've put the thing in the wrong place. Delete. Wow. Government plaza in there. I'm not used to placing pins. I kind of just do it in my head. Alright, okay. And then we will have a commercial hub in there, which will give a massive adjacency bonus to these three. And then, we don't have a mountain as per se, so we could always put something else in there. Well, let's begin by putting a holy site down. Now, we have enough to buy a second warrior. This will help towards this. I know I said I was going to build buy a settler, but we've obviously gone straight into producing one. Turn the map pins off. I have to decide whether or not I want Brussels. These are quite nice bonuses, and we can get trigger and inspiration for state workforce, which is this one, build any specialty district. So we could do that. That might actually be worth keeping. So did we get the one I want? Yeah, so we, in terms of pantheons, there's a few that I like. Now, what have we got? These culture ones are nice. Culture from the open sky, especially when you're not going to build culture districts. But we know that we've only got the one, so far the one cattle resource, which I don't even know if it is a thingy. But there's nothing else around. Now we've got some tobacco, a bit more tobacco down there, and some cotton up here. So in terms of this would give us one so far here, in terms of culture, or we could get food from here. However, we're going to go for a faith-based game where we use our faith up until just after the medieval era, in order, hopefully, if we can get the correct era score, to gain towards building our progression without actually powering for our religion. As we can see, each of these tiles here have a bonus here. So right, where can we settle here? This is settling space. Obviously we want to try and keep as close to settlement so that we can start adding maybe a few more districts on the back side of here. If I put it there, 1, 2 would be okay, but we'll only have a food tile there and a food tile there. That's not really that good. If I started it here, we could start with this. We've got this one, this one, this one, so this is kind of bad. If we put it here, this will make one production once we put a ranch over it. This is going to be able to harvest. So let's, over here, this is just not enough, and I'm not willing to risk it this early. So I think I am going to put it here. But in the meantime, I'm going to bring this down and have a look. Again, settling along the river is as perfect as we can make it. Let's have a quick look at the great people. So this tells me that we want to get Hypatia up pretty quick. So we may go straight into science in a second and make our second district in here a science district. Now, obviously, we've found that this barbarian camp has obviously been set alight. Let's set you up to heal. probably should heal this, but we're just going to have a look along here, and then we'll come back and heal up. I know I am running a settler up here, and this triggers some people, but I have the whole area lit, so I don't see it being a big issue. Yeah, so we've got some nice... Let's settle him until he's healed. If I bring him here... His combat strength 15. 22. Okay, let's try it. Lower him down just enough so that he's probably going to hit here, but not do enough to do significant damage. Okay, we've got a warrior. Now they've got nothing out on this. Not the best city. This is a better city just from some of the tiles we've seen. But again, a second city with population that's been built free of charge for us. I like some of that. We do need to go and clear these guys out though. Okay, so we've got a horse archer, which meant we lost our slinger, which we'll have to come and pull our warrior back down here. Can you take that? No, I'm going to pull you in here for now. One more turn, we're going to have to build some troops. I was hoping to wait for the craftsman to come out. What's the inspiration for this? Improve 3 tiles, which would mean we'd need a builder, which we're not going to get. We also don't have 3 tiles to improve, so we would need irrigation for this. We've got one off the farm, this one here, and we might be able to run up here and get that cattle. But it requires us spending gold we probably don't want to use. If we hit this, we're in our city, we're hiding, it's probably fairly safe. Let's put that city down. Okay, first buying that city. I think we're going to go for a warrior. And what is it working? It's working this, so there's literally no production in this, but in 8 turns, what would that give us? 8 turns. Yeah, so we'll work that tile.
I am fond of pigs. Dogs look up to us. Cats look
Okay,
up.
so we're going to go for archery, I think. Well, let's have a quick look. Yeah, so someone has gone for a great profit. Started one, but we should get there in time as well. Let's try and kill the melee unit while we're safe within the capital. Bring you there. Now, obviously, these troops we can use to take Valenta as well, which is grown onto this. So, if it goes onto this tile, we might have two nice tiles to use. Now, I'm a bit hesitant to come out and hit this because it will leave myself to die to this. But what I can do is tap that guy, which gives me a promotion, which will be useful. And as of yet, because we've got no tiles improved, this isn't really going to do a great deal to us. And this warrior here that we bought is doing some useful work. Now if we can get a coast city, maybe here. We've got a lot of production hills here, which will be nice. I wouldn't mind exploring this area because it might be better just to have it there, but it's obviously hard to tell. In terms of promotions, pretty much always take this. Probably then going to go here, and I'll see what the terrain is like for those. This is really bad. I've done it mostly for the so 1, 2, 3. So we can have like a whole series of things around here, which might be more beneficial to us. Right, so he can kill that. Oh no, he can't. But he can kill that, which probably may cause this to run round and hit us, which isn't the best situation in the world, but we'll take it. Okay, so this upgraded. What tile is it working now? So the carrier decided to run away, and we're going to chase it down. We will upgrade you to battle cry, and we're going to finish our shrine. that's mostly for finishing the shrine, is to get this started. Hopefully we'll half the number of turns that we get for this, which means we can get the first one and get the beliefs that I would like. Now, this isn't to do a religious victory, it's in terms of getting monumentality. If we can take Valenta before, not in the classical era I don't think, but in the next era, and use the bonuses that we gain to take by making a religion in order to make sure we get the era score we want, then we'll be off for a good start. I'm just going to have a quick look around here, get this goody hut, try and find where that camp is and clean it out, because I don't want to be going off the Valenta and get backdoored. This is a little bit low, but if we move him up carefully. Okay, so that's where the camp is, which means that the guy is probably around here somewhere. Ooh. Oh, we can actually delete this pin now because we've got the what? Ah, there we go. So the camp, I know obviously this would like a mountain, and this will get 2 from it, but if you remember the Japanese construction ability, all districts receive an additional adjacency for being next to it. So when we put this down, this will become a 2, and so on and so forth. Take this, we've got 75 gold. Scout, slinger, monument, we're making 8 a turn. Would be nice to upgrade our archers. Bring this on the hill. Bring this guy up on the hill. Could be that the horseman's run into here, which would be somewhat frustrating.
May the forces of evil become confused while your arrow is on its
Okay, so we've got archery. I did want to go for an early campus. That's just to try and get Hypatia. If we can get Hypatia early, what we can do is pop something down here, or maybe even better if we can buy the tile there, and then we can start working on a bonus through that. Come up here. You're going to have to come here. Let's go there. Come up on the hill here. So we've got a nice city here. There's not a lot of production in the area, but we can work the tiles and gain production. We obviously are Japan, so even if we were to put an industrial district down without hills, we gain quite a lot of production from it. What can we get? We've got early empire. We meet another civilization. Where does early empire gain from? Grow your population to at least 6. So 2 and then 4. An easy way of getting that. Let's come in here and take this. And there's another goody hut down there. Come up on this hill. Another goody hut here. So we've actually got quite a nice open area. Build a specialty district. We should get that. Let's go back and have a look. I'm not going to be having foreign trade force. And if I can get this and then into this, I can build the building and just like settle the absolute hell out of this area. So I think we're going to do that. In terms of here, we definitely want to go in. I know it hurts us killing this, and I should have changed this earlier, which will give us a bit of production. Now this was up at 14 turns earlier. It's now down at 5, which is a big difference. It does hurt us taking these out, but as long as we're careful clearing them out when we see them pop up, we should be fine. What are we looking at here? Just keeping an eye on this table. We're still at 1. We've got nowhere else here. Take this. Does this kill? Yeah. Now we heal them up. Run over here and get the goody hut.
Several closely situated granite peaks resembling tiger's teeth.
Nice. A world wonder. If only we'd got that come down here south earlier. What does it do? doubles the tile yield of adjacent tiles. Ooh, so we're probably going to want a city down here. Hopefully there's a river here. If not, we may have to try and force one. For example, when you put a mine on here, you're going to get 4 gold, but the mine adds one production, which would be 2. When you upgrade the mine, you're going to get 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth. So it's not my favourite wonder, and it's not in a great position. But that city's going to go crazy, which will probably have issues with housing. But there are ways of dealing with that. So let's have a look. We've got a blue city-state down here, I think. Bring this down here. You can heal up. Now, I probably am setting myself up for failure if there's a state here. I can see there's some tundra here, so we've managed to get quite a nice open space. I've almost never had this happen, but we'll make most use of it, right? Right, production. So we want archer, we want warrior, probably a second archer. Just so this is, we can go and take this. What do we get from here? 20 faith. Not the best this early on. Geneva. And we were the first to spot Geneva, I think. Yeah, so this is perfect for what we're trying to do. No, we weren't the first to spot Geneva. Who has a relationship with Geneva? We haven't met them. Trigger the Eureka for writing. The Eureka for writing is meet another civilization. So we could run down and see what's going down there. I'm going to bring these two back up though. Probably via checking out this tile here. It looks like this is a coast tile. Well, obviously it's a coast tile. But we could build here, I think, and then 1, 2 tiles, because I'm hoping this is a hill, but we'll see. Okay, this way around. Right, how are we doing over here? Archer, warrior in 1 turn. Could get a monument. Well, culture's not too bad right now. Obviously it could be better, but this is such a bad city. But we've got no tiles that could improve production anyway. Mostly, as I say, we're tight in here. Come over here. We're going to do a quick check out of there. I think I am going to go for a builder. With mining, we can increase this tile and this tile to give it some production. Which, why are we researching that? Why did I click on that? Well, that's a mistake. That's quite a large mistake. We should be going towards writing. How are we doing up here? Okay, so we're now ahead of him. We'll win this in 22 turns, assuming no one else starts on the race. We'll finish this turn, and then we will call this episode. So that is not a hill. That's mildly frustrating. But yeah, now you can see what we're trying to do. We're definitely going to be going for a science culture win with this. And we have a little bit of faith going, which we'll be using to boost our empire up at somewhat, hopefully, fast speed. And there we go for this first episode.